Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Strategic Feminine here on YouTube. And of course, we like to focus on all things feminine, all things girly, all things womanly in essence. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the rest of the video. So I'm going to talk about dark girl supremacy. I don't care. Get off my channel if you don't like it. How can you get dark girl privilege is something that I feel like a lot of my girls are struggling with right now. And being candid, I'm never going to come on here and fake flex with the girls. Growing up, I also had a hard time embracing my skin tone. And what I find is when you have a hard time embracing your skin tone, overall, you just don't look the best. Like, I feel like, how can you embrace something and compliment it and be insecure about it at the same time? So if you're insecure about something, 9 times out of 10, you're going to overcompensate for it. Some people overcompensate for dark skin by way of skin bleaching, skin lightening, which I, of course, as a dark girl, do not agree with. There is also a portion of the dark girl community that utilizes lighter makeup. And in my opinion, I see that a lot of times when they use lighter makeup, that it not only doesn't complement their features at all, but exacerbates the insecurity, in my opinion. And don't be misconstrued. I see other women deal with this too. Like, the contact girlies. You see them girls that like a particular color eye, but it don't look good with their skin tone, but they force it anyway. That's exactly how I feel like some of my dark girls can tend to be with this lighter makeup or skin bleaching protocols. So that's why I think it's important for dark girls to have a sense of supremacy within their own, or superiority, whatever you want to call it, within their own phenotype. Just in their head mentally. And y'all can say what y'all want to say about it. I'm not saying be shaming or, calling anybody any crazy names. But as far as putting your own phenotype and chocolate skin tone in the forefront of your mind to be proud of it, yeah, that's important. So how can you get into that mindset? Well, first of all, you have to stop listening to people telling you to be insecure about your skin tone. So any colorist people, any colorist surroundings, anybody that even, conforms to isms probably isn't going to be a safe environment for you, because you are learning to break out of isms. You are learning to despite isms. So anyone trying to appeal will automatically be a natural born enemy of yours. It just is what it is. There's no way to go about it. Some people can benefit from isms and not try to just like overcompensate. Not saying that, but what we're talking about specifically is someone who wants to appeal to a colorism. So they're naturally darker and then they want to skin bleach or whatever. Like, we can't adopt those type of mentalities. How do you avoid that as a dark girl? You cannot appeal to colorism. You cannot appeal to isms. Like, that doesn't work. You have to be willing to defy them, because you are beautiful without them. You don't need them, okay? The ism is not going to help you. You are beyond that. And understanding that, you can understand how exceptional your beauty usually is. And in these cases, a lot of women, they feel a little insecure because they don't see anyone else that looks like them. They don't have any representation. And representation is definitely needed for women to have a blueprint of what they desire to be. I'll tell you this right now. In my high school days, right, I had a teacher who was very, very feminine, very bubbly, and dark-skinned. That teacher, being in my vicinity, who was gorgeous, young, fly, and dark, helped my confidence tremendously. My style changed tremendously. I mean, my confidence was up there, and it had nothing to do with anything but seeing my reflection back at me, pouring into me, loving on me, and me loving on her. It's almost like a life-size mirror when you see women who look like you represent you positively. Like, let's be for real. So I love my high school teacher to death. My English high school teacher, love you to death. And she was that positive dark girl representation for me. She was always beautiful. She was always in great clothes, like heels, the whole shenanigans. The baby was cute. And she was actually the person who pioneered the 90s fine look. She was the only one with the pixie cut back in the day of the bust downs. So like, literally, this girl was a whole icon within her own. And I loved her. I loved her. Not saying there wouldn't have been other people who don't match my phenotype, who didn't have great style, but I wasn't able to connect to them in the same way that I was able to connect to my dark-skinned teacher. And she definitely was able to connect to me. She was able to help me with styling and, everything, which is great. I just love that. So finding that sisterhood that is in love with their melanated Afrocentric features. It's also something that you can do to get this dark girl supremacy. I love hanging around other confident chocolate girls. Love it. My favorite pastime. I can't do nothing else funner. I mean, I'm not saying I don't mind hanging out with other pretty women, but I enjoy hanging out with other chocolate girls just that much more because I know we're going to snatch attention. I know we're eating beauty standards. Like, it's just amazing. And I even get mesmerized looking at other chocolate women. I be kind of think, because I can't see myself, right? So I'm thinking like, oh, is this what I like? How beautiful. Just admiring how chocolate they are. And what do you think that does to your psyche? Now you're looking in the mirror, admiring your own chocolatey self. And then all that self-love just gets thrown around and passed around. So finding and inviting women who look similar to you, have similar styles to you, like dressing like you do, have similar, aesthetics to you, and in chocolate girl world is okay. You don't have to thrive off tokenism. Standing next to other confident chocolate women is a plus, especially with the dark girl supremacy. Like, we help keep each other. This is part of the dark girl supremacy. This is how I point out the dark girl privilege. Whenever I see a chocolate dark little girl, baby, walking around, mall, store, library, I don't care where she's at, I'm giving her a compliment. I don't care. I'm always giving that chocolate girl a compliment. It don't matter what's going on, because I need her from a young age to feel very, very confident about her chocolate complected skin. You so pretty, mama. Oh my gosh. I'll act like I've never seen it before to every little baby, every cute chocolate baby, every last one. Now, am I a bitter Betty? Do I withhold compliments from other children? No. But when I see a beautiful chocolate girl, I just have to say something. Like, I just can't get over not saying anything. Another thing that comes with these kids, right? They look up to me. So I get a lot of dark girl privilege from babies, from kids, from 6-year-olds. The same way that teacher I looked up to my teacher at that time, seeing her well dressed, beautiful, well manicured, and dark skinned and fit. I am like that to the new generation now. So when I walk around, let's say, a little girl, she got a frumpy mama. She don't ever see no pretty dark skinned girls around and about. When she looks on TV, she usually sees, Clueless or, other races of women represented as her beauty standard, right? So when she sees me out and about looking beautiful, chocolate fit, manicured, outfit is fitted, she stares. She stops and stares, literally, just amazement in her eyes. Like, I can't wait to be that one day. And that's what I do it for. I do it for the young chocolate girls. I literally do it for the dark skin supremacy. I literally do it because I believe that our beauty is so beautiful and so underappreciated. And I make it a point to not underappreciate my own beauty, especially not in front of anybody else, right? I don't do that. So I do the same thing with natural hair. Hey, your hair's so pretty, mama, blah, blah, blah. But this is a dark skin supremacy video for today. But we're going to do a natural hair privilege video soon. Don't get me wrong. So how else do I get my dark girl privilege? I enhance my skin tone by using oils and different beauty products like that. So for me, wet lotion doesn't make my skin tone look optimal. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Creams and stuff like that, it doesn't do well on like my body skin. Now, I use creams on my face because my face is a little sensitive. But for my body, I like to use glistening oils. Yes, I want my skin tone to pop. I want my skin tone to sizzle. I want you to see that glow on this chocolatey skin tone. Okay, so I use products that are specifically, made for me and are most likely found in my region. So shea butter is another one. I don't really like coconut oil too much, but coconut oil is a good one for the body. I like coconut oil for the body, but shea butter too. When you rub it on there and it get warm, that shea butter literally makes your skin pop, which is great for pictures. It makes you look even more photogenic. And if you know anything about the color theory, certain colors look optimal on dark skin. So I also learned about the color theory when it comes to my fashion. I wear all colors, whatever. But like red, right? Red looks optimal on dark skin tone. I never run away from a bright color because it just pops with my skin. So on top of making sure it's all drenched in beautiful oils, I'm also wearing colors that complement my undertones and my skin tone. What else do I do to get my dark girl privileges? So this is something that all the girls can use, but I've seen like these body butters, these body mists, like these body, like with glitter already inside of it. And they kind of rub this on their body. That is also something that I like to use. Highlight on my face. makes my dark skin tone pop. When we was younger, our mama used to what? Rub Vaseline on her face. So then when the light was reflected off of it, you just look like beautiful chef kiss. That's how I get my dark girl privilege, y'all. That's how I do it. Staying moisturized, drinking some water, green tea too. That is how you're going to be able to always keep your dark girl privilege up, Adam, doing your big one. I love utilizing it because then when I use photo shoots and stuff, it just makes me look super abstract and different. I've seen men do this. They like to use like their silhouette, and they're dark boys themselves. I'm going to put him on the screen because y'all going to think I'm crazy. He get dark boy privilege. He likes to take his pictures in the dark, and he utilizes his dark skin tone to stand out. This is what I do as a chocolate girl, y'all. I'm not hiding or overcompensating for my skin tone, okay? I don't do that because there's no reason to, because I defy standards. And that's a good thing. This is going to be a controversial one, but I'm going to be for real. As how I get my dark girl privilege, I don't mind being fetishized. That's not something that is going to keep me from falling asleep at night. I'm not going to stop a man from fetishizing a dark-skinned woman. Won't ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, well, I always, in every situation, acknowledge there being a room for self-hatred. And when most people fetishize, there is some type of self-hatred, even with white men. Let me tell y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all my story, but I'm going to just tell y'all I've seen it before. But if I see someone actively like promoting to dark skin, I'm not going to make the male or whatever business feel bad about that. I'm not going to force inclusion on a space that is specifically for darker skinned toned women. Now, I'm always going to talk about discrimination. I'm always going to talk about that. Like an ideal of what I feel like is like being discriminatory within a fetish. Like if a white guy comes up to me and he says like, oh, like, I like you and I can't stand white girls. Like they smell super weird. I can only be like with a black girl. I'm going to be like, okay, this is a self-hating white man. Let me get out of the vicinity as soon as possible. You know, he's trying to flatter me. You know, that's what I mean when I say unacceptable fetishes, but anything normal, anything that's not derogatory, okay. And I would see like there was, back in the day, I don't even remember this guy's name. If some of y'all remember who this man was, please tell me. He was I think he was mixed race or Hispanic, one of those. And he was using to make pictures and drawings or cartoons of dark-skinned chocolate women. And it was a little erotic. Yeah, it was a little erotic, but some people would be like, oh, I don't like being fetishized. And I didn't care. I liked my representation. I didn't care how I took it. I was like, oh, these are some very beautiful paintings. Like, I love being able to see chocolate women in art. Another thing I do, I love chocolate art. I have a whole Pinterest board dedicated to dark-skinned or chocolate or black girl art. And depending on the style, all artist styles are different, but I like to see and buy, pieces that reflect dark-skinned beauty. So that's another thing I do. I utilize that always. So if you know any painters, if you know anybody who likes to make specific images tailored to chocolate women, embrace them, shout them out, love on them, enjoy what they're doing, because that's how you aid to your dark girl, superiority. And I love it personally. So be mad if you want to. Along with not minding being fetishized, I also don't mind like the Nubian queen. I mean, it's a little corny. Don't get me wrong. Calling me a Nubian queen is corny, but it's appreciated and I accept it. And when I do see black men who make an effort to compliment me on my skin tone, I always am gracious. I thank them for it. I appreciate them for it. I don't out here, foam at the mouth like someone. I'm not doing all of that. But when I do get complimented on the street, which I definitely do, I don't get offended that he called me dark. Y'all saw in that, club, I just did a live stream, the Club Mona rejection. That girl was so mad that she was called dark before she was mad that she was called fat. You know what I'm saying? Too dark. Like, she was so offended. I do not hate being called dark skin, dark, chocolate. All of those words are synonymous with me being a pretty chocolate superior girl. Period. Eat them up. Eat them up. Be mad. And the thing is that I think is also great about chocolate supremacy, right? Our stereotype is the weighed down, ugly woman, right? So when you're not ugly, it makes you stand out that much more in the beauty space because there is not that many, avenues of dark skin chocolate beauty being exceptional. So when you do get it, it's rare. Take Lauryn Hill, for example, exceptional dark skin beauty. We don't get many of hers, but when we have her, we hold on to her tight because we love the chocolate supremacy. Love it. That's another way I aid to my chocolate supremacy. I listen to women who look like me, JT, Flo Millie. Even though I do like Lotto, Glorilla, when they get to talk, especially that's why I wish there would be a rapper who would come out and make a chocolate girl anthem. They had brown skin girl. So I'm waiting on chocolate girl to come out. And, I can't wait. So when I see artists who definitely talk about our skin tone in an empowering way, not no one likes us, but in an empowering way, I always support them 110%. Now, we got to correct them when they say ignorant stuff. But if they're empowering the chocolate skin tone, we accept and embrace all of those different avenues, all those influencers, all those promoters, because it's definitely needed. Even though I talked about tokenism, I'm not against it either. I'm not against tokenism. Another way I get my dark girl privilege is I'm not afraid to be the only black person in the room. I'm not afraid to be the only dark girl in the room. I'm okay to be a beautiful representation of my skin tone alone. That is another way I get my dark girl representation, because then I get to see other races of people outside of my own community love and enjoy my skin tone and my beauty as well. And then it also helps me realize that beauty is universal. You know what I'm saying? Cute, beautiful, universal. It is all in the same totem pole. Another way I exhibit my dark girl privilege, okay, and the way the dark girls exhibit their privilege to me, when we see each other in public, we show out as dark girls. Tell me not. Tell me out. When we see another pretty dark girl in the middle of the section or wherever she's at, we make sure to let the whole world know that we're complimenting each other. Tell me that we don't do that. We do. Girl did this to me at the store. Stop the whole dang store. You so pretty, girl. I love your hair. We love to do this to each other. It aids into the dark skin superiority, girl. We love that's how I aid into it. You know what I'm saying? So even if I don't know her, I make sure to let her know as a beautiful chocolate girl that you are gorgeous, and I don't care who's around. So then, let's say two white people was happen to be walking down. They're seeing me show that outward love to my own phenotype. That's nothing more powerful than that. That kills any self-hatred, accusations, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I can appreciate a similar phenotype to me and appreciate it in public and make sure the whole world knows that this is beautiful. Okay, so I love to aid in being a chocolate baby. I love it. Of course, growing up, I wish I would have had this same pride, but I got it now, baby. It ain't going nowhere. I think the best thing to do, as far as chocolate girls, not be insecure. I am personally, y'all, let me be for real. I'm this whole summer making sure I get darker. I'm outside as long as I need to be outside because I like me looking super chocolate. I like it. I want to be tanner. I want to be darker. I think it makes me look that much more better. I can't stand the wintertime when I get all pasty. No, ma'am. I need that sun. That's another thing that you guys are definitely need to look at. A lot of melanated people, they have vitamin D deficiencies. So their skin tone doesn't look optimal because they kind of look a little ashy. It happens to me in the wintertime, so I know when there's not that much sun, they look a little ashy, a little washed out, a little drained. Please use sun. Some people use sun lamps, for seasonal depression and stuff. Use the sun in the hotter months. Let it get on your skin. Let that vitamin D be absorbed. Be safe. Okay. Beware of UV rays or whatever. But definitely I don't mind getting more toasty. I'd be outside all the way, trying to show off my chocolatey skin tone and trying, to get it darker. I do that all summer. That's what I'm doing right now. No, I don't tan, but I definitely like a chocolate or skin tone. And that's just my business. Say what you want to say. If y'all can bleach, then I definitely can go outside and just live my best life and naturally get darker. Because one thing about us chocolate girls it changes. Like in the winter we get a little bit but we dark in the summer. And our darkness is definitely on a spectrum, of course, because there's some brown like Normani, and then Anoki is definitely very deep into chocolate, you know what I'm saying? So even then understand that there are undertones in your own skin tone that is going to kind of aid in it changing its appearance. And that's why I tell y'all to learn about color analysis. That way you can know what clothes look best on you. So color analysis, I'm going to let somebody explain it.
When it comes to color analysis, are all Black women winters? Let's put it to the test. Today, we're going to compare the greatest of all times, Naomi Campbell and Beyonce. Both are super stunning, but we're going to use the silver and gold method to determine their skin tone. Winters look effortless in black. I mean, just look at her. Come on. I don't know if Beyonce looks great here. I don't know. So I looked up another photo and it still looks like the black is competing with her here. So far, Beyonce seems to have a warmer undertone than cool. Let's compare gold on Naomi Campbell. What do you think? Now, gold is Beyonce's signature and she looks beautiful. So when I go back to this one, I feel like Naomi Campbell is being washed out, similar to how Beyonce was being washed out in the black. So the final verdict is that Naomi Campbell is definitely a winter. The reason I say this is because winters can rock black and white effortlessly. Beyonce is an autumn because they are the only ones that can rock browns. And it's not washing her out. The stunning Kelly Rowland. Kelly here is a winter and she looks amazing in this icy silver. In comparison, gold just doesn't give what it needs to give. Winters should lean into cooler tones versus warm. Instead of warm muted tones like this, winters just look amazing in vivid icy tones like this. Now she's stunning and this doesn't look awful. However, winters just look striking when they commit to reds like this. And instead of light and muted, lean into words like dark and vivid like this. If there's one thing I'm always going to talk about is a winter rocking white head to toe. Chef's kiss. If you're a winter, avoid colors like this. It just makes you look ashy. Avoid stuff like this. Avoid stuff like this. It's not vivid enough. And instead embrace colors like this. Something like this and beautiful stuff like this. And instead of rocking a very autumn look like this, opt in for something like this. Icy yellow looks amazing and lemon yellows look amazing. Vivid, icy, and bright are your words.
So this is my blueprint to dark girl desirability. This is my blueprint to remaining at a dark skin superiority complex. And I really could care less how y'all feel about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to work with what you have. You have to be able to enhance, complement anything that you're working with, okay? So I always tell y'all girls, be good people, be holy people, read the word and spread the word, remain confident, remain learning, and remain researching your own beauty standards. Thank you, but have a great one. Bye.